All I can say is that the fake news just doesn't get it, do they? Ooh, I'm getting rusty. I'm getting rusty. All right, folks, the fake news doesn't get it. They didn't get it last year and into the early part of this year when they were swooning. They were so crazy in worship, in awe of Andrew Cuomo. Oh, the way he did those briefings. He spoke and he spoke and he was so confident and he gave us the numbers and the intubations and the ICUs and he was sticking it to Trump and they loved it. They loved every minute of it. Meanwhile, I was going crazy. I'm like, I could tell he wasn't working. Number one, what was up with that tan? Number two, what was up with, he just wasn't breaking a sweat. You could tell he was taking care of himself, not the state. He was going fishing. He was not working very hard. He was writing a book that he made $5 million on. This stuff still makes me very, very angry. And quite frankly, I think he should have resigned a year ago. But, I refuse to jump on this phony baloney bandwagon about this guy being a sexual predator. He is not, and the allegations against him, if anybody bothered to read them, are not serious and or extremely problematic. And they don't merit impeachment. They don't. So, here's the accuser, one of them.
The governor said today that he accepts responsibility and that he's making changes. Do you believe him?
Accepting responsibility means stepping down. So I don't believe him, and I don't want an apology. It's not necessary. It's fake. And his propaganda video was not only uncomfortable and inappropriate, but downright weird and unnecessary.
Stepping down. He should step down because he did the following, according to her and the Attorney General in a report, not a criminal referral, but a report. So let's go through it. What's in there? What is she alleging about Governor Cuomo? The governor wanted her to learn the lyrics to a song. She was in the governor's office when he asked her whether she knew the song Danny Boy. Ms. Bennett recalled the governor had a copy of the lyrics with him that he handed to her as he asked her to memorize the lyrics. Ms. Bennett spent much of the day trying to memorize the lyrics to the song, and the governor occasionally would pop out of the side door to his office that opened to Ms. Bennett's cubicle and ask her to start singing the song. I think there are about 3 lines in the song, Danny Boy, anyway. All right, that's allegation, I guess, number 1. Number 2, her appearance. Sometime in or around November 2019, the governor commented on Miss Bennett's hair, which she had worn in a bun that day. Although the governor typically greeted her when she greeted him in the morning, when she greeted him that day, he asked about or commented why she was wearing her hair in a bun and said nothing else. At the end of the day, the governor asked Miss Bennett again why she was wearing her hair in a bun. And it goes on. Next slide, please. Miss Bennett said she became angry and yelled, "You don't like my bun," and yelled to the other assistants, "He doesn't like my bun." After the governor had left the office for the day, another colleague went to Miss Bennett to chat, and Miss Bennett described what the governor had said about her hairstyle. Miss Bennett stated that the governor referred to her as bun for the next month. All right, not ideal by any means, but resign immediately or get impeached. Next, a question about hands. On one occasion, the governor persistently asked Miss Bennett what people were saying about the size of his hands. Miss Bennett testified that she understood the governor was attempting to get her to say something about the size of his genitals. Ms. Bennett explained how difficult it was for her to navigate the situation as she was uncomfortable and wanted to change the topic, but she also wanted to avoid angering the governor. Whenever you bring up the size of hands, are you asking someone to comment on that? I don't know. I don't know if that's a safe takeaway. I do remember, however, everybody was talking about hands in politics for a while. What was it? 4 or 5 years ago, remember the campaign, Marco Rubio, Trump, and the whole country, actually.
Hand size, you know, just because my hands are big, small, doesn't mean, I just can't believe we went there. And I can't believe that the Republican primary yielded this.
Look on the bright side, though, people. Donald Trump is finally picking on someone his own hand size.
He's artificially augmenting his hand size in his photos as president because he's still stuck on that issue.
All right, so it was discussed in political circles. Does it mean something else? Maybe, but that's her takeaway. She did not allege that he went there when others were. Next up, something about a push-up contest or physical fitness in the office. Let's take a look at that, please. Beginning in the summer of 2019, Ms. Bennett began speaking to the governor about her gym habits, and he asked her on occasion how many push-ups she could do. On August 9th, 2019, Ms. Bennett sent a text message to her parents reporting that the governor had invited Ms. Bennett to lift weights together in his mansion gym, and that the governor started asking what I lift, etc., how many push-ups I can do. That same day, Ms. Bennett posted to her Instagram story with a caption, "The governor invited me to lift weights with him. Life complete. He challenged me to a push-up competition." Ms. Bennett also wrote to her parents that the governor had asked her, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And when she replied no, the governor replied, "That's why you could beat them all up." Push-ups, is that code for anything sexual? Challenging somebody to a push-up contest? I see it all the time.
And you want to check my shape on, let's do push-ups together here, man.
Now talk and give me 20.
I was just wondering if you could do more push-ups than I could do. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, you guys count.
These things happen in our culture. Now, it gets a bit more serious, the report, and let's go through this, please. During the conversation, Ms. Bennett and the governor discussed in detail her history as a survivor of sexual assault. Ms. Bennett recalled that the conversation began when the governor asked her to tell him something, and Ms. Bennett responded by discussing how hard the staff were working. Ms. Bennett then told the governor that his signing of sexual assault legislation, Enough is Enough, in 2015, changed her life. It goes on. Ms. Bennett disclosed to the governor that she had been sexually assaulted in college, that she had a difficult experience reporting the assault, and that the experience motivated her to work in politics. Ms. Bennett testified that the governor then asked her several questions about her experience, including about the details of her assault, and commented, "Well, some people have it much worse." It goes on. She texts her family, I believe, had a really long convo with the governor today. This is from a text message. Talked about career, etc. 2 hours. He responded so well. Really impressed. He had a lot to say and was very emotional and serious, but also asked a lot of questions. And that's something. She had this horrible chapter in her life, and she brought it up to the governor. She trusted him and was impressed with his reaction. Now, more. And perhaps this is, well, let's look at it. According to Ms. Bennett, while she was trying to figure out how to answer the governor's question, he cut her off and said, "I don't think age difference matters." He had brought up what is acceptable or not to date. The governor then said he would have a relationship with someone who was 22 and up, or over the age of 22. Ms. Bennett noted that earlier that day, she and the governor had discussed the fact that she recently turned 25. Okay. The governor also asked Ms. Bennett if her last relationship had been monogamous. Now, the governor then explained to Ms. Bennett that she had trouble being monogamous in relationships, which was not something she herself had said, because of her past as a survivor of sexual assault, and that she required having control in relationships. Now this. Now, they're talking about monogamy, and I can understand that would be an odd thing to talk about and might make somebody uncomfortable. So at one point during this conversation, Ms. Bennett tried to change the topic by discussing a tattoo that she wanted to get for her birthday. The governor insisted that she get the tattoo on her butt rather than her shoulder so that people would not see it if she were wearing a dress. The governor also asked Ms. Bennett about her piercings and asked if she had piercings anywhere other than her ears. Ms. Bennett described this conversation as painfully awkward. So they're talking about something she doesn't want to talk about, her monogamy. I totally would understand that. So she changes the conversation. During this conversation, Ms. Bennett tried to change the topic by discussing a tattoo that she wanted to get for her birthday. A tattoo isn't exactly going to a new, safe topic. It's not like talking, Mr. Governor, you have a speech in Buffalo next week, or Governor, there are these letters or phone calls you got to return. No, I want to get a tattoo for my birthday. What do you think? That suggests a certain familiarity, doesn't it? I think that's worthy of a question. Now, When she was interviewed this week, Charlotte Bennett, by people like Norah O'Donnell and George Stephanopoulos, they didn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. They just gave her the royal treatment. Why? Because this is a sexual assault survivor, and you don't challenge them. You don't. In today's culture, sacred. So what did they ask?
When that was happening at the time, how did you feel?
What does that mean to you?
Charlotte, you said you feel vindicated. What were you thinking as you watched the governor yesterday?
Now, there are questions to ask. You can be respectful, but you can ask them. There are some discrepancies. There are some inconsistencies. Why aren't they asking them? Because, well, number one, I don't think Norah O'Donnell cares. And where George Stephanopoulos, he has his own issues that he has to think about that he doesn't want to come up. A couple of years ago, he had dinner with Jeffrey Epstein. George Stephanopoulos had dinner with Jeffrey Epstein after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted, while Jeffrey Epstein was a registered sex offender. I knew that. Everybody knew that. George Stephanopoulos said he didn't know that. He didn't know that. All right, but the crux of it is, why is she upset, in my opinion? Because, well, because of this.
His intention was trying to sleep with me. He was trying to sleep with me.
All right, that may be the case. He might have been feeling her out. That is inappropriate if that's the case. It is. Let's take a look at them together. This is Cuomo and Charlotte Bennett back when she was working for him. A lot of people think that that is enough for him to have to resign or be impeached because he was exploring the notion of dating this person, allegedly. And a lot of people are horrified by that. My gosh, the age difference is disgusting. Well, our culture for a long time did not send that message. It didn't. Let's be real. It was actually glorified. People thought the age difference was somehow a status symbol. I mean, there's Frank Sinatra with Mia Farrow. He was like 40 years older than her. More recently, Jerry Seinfeld with Shoshana Lowenstein, something like that. She was 17 and he was 40 at the time. How about Leonardo DiCaprio? Great actor, of course. Has he ever dated a woman over 25? He's damn near 50 years old. So our culture approves of this. Now, maybe not for politicians, of course not for politicians, but Governor Cuomo does not have a record of this himself, at least publicly. His first wife, Kerry Kennedy, was age appropriate, and so was his longtime girlfriend, Sandra Lee, seen right there. The whole thing is sad, in my opinion. Governor Cuomo did apologize. He apologized, though, during that special address the other day to his accuser, Charlotte Bennett.
Charlotte, I want you to know that I am truly and deeply sorry. I brought my personal experience into the workplace, and I shouldn't have done that. I was trying to help. Obviously, I didn't. I am even more sorry that I further complicated the situation. My goal was the exact opposite. I wish nothing but good for you and for all survivors of sexual assault.
I think he actually cared for her. He probably liked her too. And I thought that was heartfelt. That's what it seemed like to me. And I know politicians, they're almost never sincere, but I thought there was something sincere there. She's not buying it.
Do you accept his apology?
I don't. I actually don't want it or need it, and it's irrelevant. His propaganda is simply that.
Okay. By the way, she's represented by Ms. Katz, her attorney. You recognize her on the right there? You might. She represented one of the lawyers who represented Christine Blasey Ford, Brett Kavanaugh's accuser. So I recall once again Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, the things that were done in the Oval Office, in the White House, and the things that were done on the phone. They conducted an electronic relationship.
These inappropriate encounters ended at my insistence in early 1997. I also had occasional telephone conversations with Ms. Lewinsky that included inappropriate sexual banter.
Inappropriate sexual banter, phone sex. Fast forward to 2021. This is what you're about to hear, inappropriate banter between Charlotte Bennett and Governor Cuomo, initiated by the governor. But this is not phone sex. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's impeachable, and I don't think he should step down because of things like this.
Hello?
Hi, Governor.
Yeah?
This is Charlotte.
Okay. Are you ready?
I am ready.
You don't know that song?
No,
Before your time.
it's before my time, but I appreciated the singing.
Do you love me? Do you really love me? Do you love me? Do you care?
I'll have to listen now.
Yep. It's like the 50s. It's before even my time.
Oh, there you go. Now I have less of an excuse.
You ready?
Yes.
Call Ken Starr. We can't make a federal case out of this. It's awkward, it's weird, it's whatever, but it's not impeachable. You can't force a guy out of office over this. It's strange how they'll overlook all the thousands of deaths that the Cuomo administration may be responsible for. $5 million while New Yorkers were having their businesses shut down, their lives turned upside down, and they're going to drive him out of office over this. Something else is going on. I'm not sure what it is, but this is a farce.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.